Would you call the roll, please, Karen?
Yes, Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Ms. Leavenworth,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson.
Yes.
This meeting is a meeting of the West Geauga Local School District Board of Education in public under the provisions of the amended substitute House Bill 197 for the purposes of conducting the West Geauga Local School District's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. There is a time for public remarks during the meeting as indicated in the agenda. Please use the chat room function located on the chat room area if you would like to be recognized for the public remarks. Remember, this is a matter of addressing the board. It's limited to 5 minutes per person, 30 minutes total. This is not a time for discussion with the board. Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Are there any additions or changes to the agenda?
No, sir.
Okay, I believe tonight we have a presentation by our athletic director on how things have worked out this wonderful, different kind of season.
Yes, the fall season report. We'll start off with, you guys were presented with the Safe Start plan and return to competition plans that were vetted by the Board of Health. As far as we can tell, with some luck and a lot of discipline and coaches and student athletes following those, we've been pretty consistent with participating in sports. Our partnership with UH and especially our athletic trainer, Sam Atkins, has helped with contact tracing and, being in contact with the Geauga County Board of Health. And we've had a very successful fall season. We're going to carry over that Safe Start plan to the winter sports. A couple additional precautions. Working right now to go to hometown ticketing, which is a cashless ticketing platform that'll allow us to generate revenue and not have to handle cash. Some things, developing some things for wrestling specifically, and also working on being able to work with UH to get our kids in, especially during cold and flu season, to see a physician in a timely manner to either get tested or be under the care so that they can come back to sports quickly and as quickly as we can get them back safely. As many of you know, it's been a phenomenal competitive season for us. 3 conference championships. Volleyball, as far as I know, they won their first conference championship ever this year. They were 11-1 in the regular season, went 1-1 in the playoffs, and won a home playoff game, which was great. The cross country boys team won a conference title and just finished runner-up at the sectional. And our girls soccer team won conference title for the second year in a row. They are 2-0 in the playoffs and currently up 1-0 at halftime. Jim is there, I'm inside. Our golf and tennis teams were much improved this year, and then our numbers are up in participation for them as well. A couple changes for the winter. The Gymnastics Consortium is no longer being hosted at West Geauga. We are off-site at Lakeshore Dance currently for this season. And swim is off-site again this year, but we will be returning to Gilmore. So yeah, those are my, year in review and upcoming plans for the winter sports.
Great. thanks for all of your work in keeping everybody safe and keeping the whole program going. No, it's been a challenging experience for you, just like for everybody else, but particularly when you have the kids out there like on the football field beating heads against each other, you got to wonder how how you can survive without getting something.
You
Hey,
know,
hey, Ben.
moving, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. In the winter sports, how are we going to handle, fan participation? Is there going to be some kind of like maybe 2 people per student playing? I don't even know. Do we have a formula for that?
So the governor has mandated, yeah, there's a formula. The governor has actually made a mandate, not a recommendation, so we have to follow it. It's 15% of your fixed seating capacity indoors. So in our gym, that's 131 seats. We also have to take into account when we're playing a triple header for basketball, the visiting freshmen and JV teams do count because they sit in seats. So it will be a little bit less than that. But what we've done is we've distributed it. It'll probably be 2 tickets per basketball player per team. And what we've done in volleyball, which is a good model for basketball, is we've asked the freshman game fans to exit the gym immediately after and have been able to host JV. And if it comes to it, we can ask the JV fans to exit the gym as well. Also one thing that Jim Kish has really helped me with, he's currently doing, which has been phenomenal, has been the streaming. It has really, we've gotten up to 2,000 views on some of our games. We average between 400 and 500. And we've been, I think, as high as 275 views real time. So 275 people watching the game as it's being played. And all of those games are, except for we were asked by the soccer coaches to take girls soccer, past soccer games off so that nobody can scout us so easily. We will put those back up after we're done competing. But yeah, it was too good a resource for opposing teams. So we took those down temporarily. So if anybody complains, it was at request of the coach for competitive reasons. But and we will continue streaming through the winter. And if anybody wants to volunteer to do play-by-play for wrestling, we'll do a 2-hour course. We'll get you started.
We'll have to give Brian Brakeman a call.
There you go. He would be phenomenal.
Okay, any other questions for Ben? Okay, thanks a lot, Ben, for the work that you're doing and coming in and giving us a report. Now you can go back out to the soccer field and cheer 'em
Hopefully
on.
watch a win. Yep. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, try and stay warm.
It's all right. I'm used to it.
I just noticed that if the rest of the board hasn't noted, Ben Katowski's on with us now.
Yeah. You see him.
Hello, Ben? Ben, can you check your audio? Mr. Katowski,
Can we get a hey?
can we hear a dog barking? He's still got computer problems, I guess.
Yeah, he is not muted, so he should be able to talk to us.
Ben, say something.
He's just sent me a message saying I have no audio. So I am working on. Let me see if I can unmute him and mute him again.
He can't hear us as well as,
Well, he's on mute now.
I just muted him to see if turning that off would help.
Probably on his own computer.
Yeah.
Well, you continue working on that, Jim. Let's try to keep on moving along here. I don't see that anybody has signed up in the chat region for public remarks.
I do not either.
Okay, so we'll move on to the routine items.
All right.
Karen, you want to take 350?
Yes. Resolution 350 to approve routine matters of the West Geauga Local Board of Education to include the September 2020 financial statements, the minutes, the certified and classified substitute list.
I'll move.
Second.
Any questions?
I'd like to go over the financials. just to-
Okay,
Currently, we've gone through 3 months of operations. We have all the investments have been put in place for September. We are currently at Star Ohio. We're down to 0.2% interest. Even though in September we had 0.25, we've gone down another, down to 2.2. First National Bank, we're at 0.5, and then at Middlefield Bank, we're at 0.31. Our Fifth Third Securities, we have a number of CDs that are still in the 1, and some are actually still in the 2%, but those mature in October and November. So those will have to be renewed at a much lower rate. But we are looking at, right now, those rates are below 1%. So we'll probably put those in short-term investments until we can see what happens with the bonds. On your report D, which is your operations of the general fund, we have received all the general property taxes. We had received $9.8 million in general property taxes, $1 million in personal tangible property taxes. Those are utilities. So this shows if you compare this year to last year, you'll see the impact of the Newberry property taxes. So we have almost 2.6 million in general property taxes is an increase, along with $350,000 of the public utility property taxes. You'll all see the cash moving from Newberry over to our investments. You'll see that come across in our other local resources. As far as the expenses, we are within our budget, what we've allocated for the first 3 months. You'll see the increase in expenses related to the Newberry staff coming over and their employee benefits, along with just a general increase in our expenses over the prior year. If you look at report F, this is the food services report. What we've seen so far is a reduction in food services for lunches, because we are now offering free meals for all students. This will continue through the rest of the school year. So you won't see a lot of you won't see revenues coming through. So students are not purchasing the a la carte, so you won't see people putting a lot of money in those accounts. So we did make a $50,000 transfer to the food services account to cover expenses, because we do have at this point less revenues coming in than our fixed cost or expenses that we have there, plus our variable supply cost. We're estimating that that's going to be close, if not 50,000, just around that $50,000 to $60,000 loss this year, with the changes in our food services plan related to the middle school, high school, and the elementaries as well. And that we haven't received yet our first payment from the USDA, the food services program, but our September food services payment we'll get in October. That's around $16,000. So that'll be our first payment under the new food services plan. And that is, we did receive a grant from the Geauga County Mental Health. This is on report G for $23,680 that Amy and had requested, and we were awarded that grant, and she is working on how she'll be allocating those funds throughout the year. That is my report for the financials.
Okay, does anybody have any questions? Okay, would you call the roll, please?
Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Ms. Leavenworth,
Yes.
Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson.
Yes.
Resolution 351 to approve the warrants for the September 2020.
So moved.
Second,
Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Katsowski.
Yes.
Ms. Leavenworth.
yes,
Mr. Ramey.
Yes.
Mr. Thorson.
Yes.
Dr. Beers.
Yes.
Dr. Markwart.
Resolution 352 is to approve an additional 5 extended workdays for a certified staff member in the current school year.
So moved.
second,
Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Leavenworth.
yes,
Mr. Ramey.
Yes.
Mr. Thorson.
Yes.
Dr. Beers.
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski.
Yes. Resolution 353 is to approve a 2% raise for confidential administrative assistants and non-exempt central office staff for the 2020-2021 school year.
So moved.
second,
Any questions? Call the roll.
Mr. Ramey.
Yes.
Mr. Thorson.
Yes.
Dr. Beers.
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski.
Yes.
Ms. Leavenworth.
yes,
Resolution 354 is to approve a classified staff appointment for the 2020-2021 school year.
so move,
Second.
Any questions? You see, this is for a van driver. We want all the van and bus drivers we can get, I think, right?
Correct.
Could afford the van and bus drivers.
Would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Thorson.
Yes.
Dr. Beers.
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski.
Yes.
Ms. Leavenworth.
yes.
Mr. Ramey.
Yes.
Just a question on that. So this person is only allowed to drive a van then?
That's correct. They don't have a CDL.
Okay, so, but if they did, we could use them both for buses and vans for,
If they did, yes.
if they did, yeah, okay.
Okay, next one. Resolution 355 is to approve a supplemental contract for the 2020-2021 school year.
So move.
Second.
Where is the,
Second.
Ben just said that the swim program is coming back to Gilmore. Where is it now?
It was at Gilmore last year, but they had, they were unsure whether they were going to open up their lanes due to COVID, obviously. Last year, they had a much better swim time. They'll be swimming at 8 PM this year. It was
Oh.
either 5 AM, 5:30 AM or 8 PM. They opted for the 8 PM.
Well, it's better than, yeah. So I thought that he was indicating that we had a year in between that we went someplace else, but.
No, they just were late in determining whether or not they could offer lanes for us this year.
Okay,
Any other questions? Call the roll.
Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Ms. Leavenworth,
yes.
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson.
Yes.
Karen, do you have any idea how many students are involved in that program?
I do not, but I'll send that to you. We were
Okay.
well over 35. But I'll get you a
I
final.
know they've had great success too for not having that many, so that's great. Okay,
Yeah, they've-
thank you.
Rich, go ahead.
Resolution 356 is to approve the resignations of service contracts for the 2020-2021 school year.
So moved.
Second,
Any discussion? Call the roll,
All will
please.
be made clear in the next few resolutions.
Yes. Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Ms. Leavenworth,
yes,
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers.
Yes.
And per Chet's preface and introduction, Resolution 357 is to approve revised service contracts for the 2020-2021 school year.
So moved.
second,
Any questions? Call the roll,
Hold him.
please.
to the end.
Go ahead, Chet.
No, I said hold him to the end.
Call the roll, please.
Ms. Leavenworth,
yes,
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski.
Yes. Resolution 358 is to approve service contracts for the 2020-2021 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Ms. Leavenworth.
yes,
And resolution 359 is to authorize the award of service contracts for the 2020-2021 school year.
So moved.
second,
Is this where we can ask questions, Chet?
Well, sure, you can ask questions. You can ask all the questions you want. It's a changing of the guard.
Yes. Okay. Oh, and the forwards and the centers too, it looks like.
Ouch.
oh, yeah,
Would you call the roll, please?
I don't know how to react to that.
Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Raspberry, probably,
Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Ms. Leavenworth,
yes,
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson.
Yes.
Resolution 360 is to approve a student internship for the 2020-2021 school year.
So moved.
second,
Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Ms. Leavenworth,
yes,
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers.
Yes.
Resolution 361 is a resolution to approve the third and final reading of the revised board policies and the new board policies that are listed in the agenda.
so move,
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Ms. Leavenworth,
yes,
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski.
Yes.
Resolution 362 to approve the service agreement between the West Geauga Local Schools and the McKeon Education Group, Inc. for the 2021 school year.
So moved.
Second.
is this for us, or is this a flow
It's
through?
for St. Helens.
Yeah, okay,
Any other questions? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Ms. Leavenworth.
yes,
Resolution 363 to approve a service agreement between West Geauga Local Schools and McKeon Education Group for the 2021 school year. This would be for St. Anselm.
So moved.
second,
Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Ms. Leavenworth,
yes,
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers.
Yes.
Resolution 364, authorizing the execution and delivery of renewal agreement to master electric energy sales agreement between West Geauga Local Schools and the Power for Schools endorsed electric supplier NG Resources LLC.
second,
Okay, any questions? Call the roll, please.
Leavenworth,
yes,
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski.
Yes.
Okay, moving right along. I believe, Rich, you said there's no superintendent's report tonight.
That's correct.
Okay, and any board reports? Anybody else got anything? I don't tonight. Okay, then we will move into executive session. Resolution 365 is a resolution to move into adjourn into executive session to discuss personnel matters, including appointment and or employment, discipline, compensation, and matters required to be kept confidential by state or federal law. I so move.
Second.
I'm sorry, who was the second?
Everyone.
Mr. Ramey,
There'll be no action taken after the executive session.
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Ms. Leavenworth.
yes.
Okay.
And we'll
Oh, go ahead.
I'll ask Karen, Rich, Nancy, to join us in executive session. Is there anybody else, Rich, that we need?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Okay, and we have a motion to adjourn. Who made, was Dan moved that we adjourn?
Yep.
And who seconds?
second,
Kathy, okay. All in favor, just say aye.
aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Hi, guys.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys.